Whyte, man. What's good? Let's talk this boxing. Let me know. Make sure you guys can hear me. Let me know real quick that you guys can hear me in the comment section. What's going on? Adrian Vent in the building. Black Alpha. Man, my man whose name I always kill, man. What's good with you, my man? John Kono. Why silly Dillian, slow White, go fight Tyson, Filthy Fury, or Anthony Joshua? Because he need to go fight Anthony Joshua because he dang sure ain't getting no Deontay Wilder fight, dude. That dude is, those guys over there are just straight up telling stories, man. Like, if I hadn't already been familiar with the boxing media and just how they are totally in bed with the promoters and always trying to sell and push fights for promoters, I might actually start believing this nonsense, dog. It's like mass hypnotism or something. They just keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over again as if this dude, Tyson Fury, is not stuck in court. You know what I'm saying? It's just, honestly, dude, it's disrespectful, man. It's disrespectful to boxing fans to do that. You should be somebody, I think, that you should be somebody that's going to give people the skinny. You know, like, what is it? What's the likelihood of the fight happening? You know? But they're in there promoting their fighter and talking about the fights that he's going to have and, oh, the big-time Tyson Fury fight. Dude, how in the hell is the Tyson Fury fight going to happen, dude, when this dude's in court, okay? And why the hell does, I'll get into Dillian Whyte in a second, man, and that fight. Sherman Calhoun in the Callahan in the building. Harold Jones in the building. Blessings up, man. Shout out to Atlanta. St. Cruz, and what's good with you, sir? My senior there, man. What's good? Mr. Pedraza, salute to you, King. King Jr. in the building. Tay Brown looking lovely last night. Absolutely loved your pictures, as always, on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow Tay Brown on Instagram. My man, Lunama M said it's 3:24 p.m. in South Africa. Can't wait for the broadcast. Hey, man, I had my honeymoon in South Africa. We stayed right next to Table Mountain. I passed out trying to walk up Table Mountain. I was way out of shape. And we tried to take a tour, you know, a guided tour where you walk up to the top of the mountain. I was like, oh, hell no. My head got light as a mug. What's going on? Stephen Lamont Hawkins in the building said, bonjour, Martin, a.k.a. the GOAT. Make sure we hear you the first 3 minutes today. Let me go down to the end and make sure you guys can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. Chino Figueroa in the building. Dante Watkins in the building. All right, we can hear you. Cool. He said, wow, I'm from Cape Town. Yeah, man, my parents used to have a condominium in South Africa. And they used to go there, you know, they used to go there a lot. For maybe like 5 or 6 years, they used to go there a lot. I don't know if it was a timeshare or what it was, but yeah, man, they used to go there. Used to go to South Africa a lot, and me and my wife had our honeymoon there. Absolutely beautiful place. Let's get into this stuff, man. Okay, so yesterday, Dillian Whyte beat Alexander Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin looked like they said he had COVID. Like he was recovering from COVID, and a lot of people that commented on the fight said that Alexander Povetkin looked like he hadn't got over COVID. Dude, when I looked at him, I was like, damn, did they get him with the water? I was like, dude, as soon as he started tripping all over the place in the middle, Lula Ma M said, wow, you got taste, brother Fannon. Yeah, man, hey, you know, definitely like South Africa, man. Gotta like it, man. Salute. Fenton, also from Cape Town. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Africa, man. Shout out to Africa, the next industrial powerhouse of the world. The next industrial, if y'all get y'all act right, the next major industrial power in the world for sure is Africa. Got all the minerals, got a booming population, can pay off their debt pretty quickly if you guys put your mind to paying it off. As soon as you nationalize and kick people out, y'all be running the shit. Tyson, the powder-nosed, cheating, bum-ass cow. I wonder if you're Leonard Ellery's nose. He said he got punched and started tripping. Yeah, well, he kept tripping over Dillian Whyte's feet because he couldn't go back. He tried to dip straight out to the side, and every time he dipped out straight to the side, he would trip over Dillian Whyte's leg because Dillian Whyte's leg was positioned over there. So, he just looked like he had very, very weak legs. But, it is you know, it is what it is, man. I mean, it was a very good fight for Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte was punishing that dude with that jab, pretty much hurting him with everything he hit him with, hurt him with body shots, you know. So, yeah, man, he definitely, Dillian Whyte did what he's supposed to do in that fight. And Alexander Povetkin, despite his advanced age, is, you know, is considered one of the top heavyweights. So, you know, it's a good win. It's a good win for Dillian Whyte. I'm not quite sure though where these dudes are getting this shit like that they were saying after the fight. Where Eddie Hearn, dude, just Eddie Hearn, man. God dog, man. Why do you just lie like that, man? Like, just flat out lied. How do you, seriously, I don't even get how you could do business with somebody that will just flat out lie in a camera. Flat out lie. He tried to divert the attention because clearly they don't want that Deontay Wilder fight. They were like, nah, we'll take some fights. Like, they really want the Trevor Bryan fight or something like that. They want to go a different direction. That was clear. However, for him to say that, oh, Deontay Wilder texted you some time ago and said, you know, that he'll never give you the fight. Dog, how about a little context? What's going on? Mr. Diamond says, salute Martin from Hackney, London. Hey, that was a good card last night, man. I really did enjoy, what's his name? Hatton's son? I think is it Chandler Hatton or something like, it's something like that, man. I forget the first name, but it was Ricky Hatton's son. It's Ricky Hatton's son's introduction fight or debut. Hey, that dude is tough, man. That kid is tough. I like him, man. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Ricky Hatton's son, dude. That dude looked like he was tough. How come it's a good win for Whyte, but Wilder beat an old man? I didn't say that. Campbell Hatton, thank you. Yeah, Campbell Hatton looked good, man. I like Campbell Hatton, and also, dude, Ted Cheeseman came throwing hands. I was like, what up, Ted Cheeseman? That was a battle between him and whoever the hell that other dude was. I don't even try to remember these dudes' names. The domestic level UK fighters, but it was a very good domestic level UK card that I was sitting there wondering, why the fuck am I paying for this? Like, I was like, this is a UK domestic card. And I'm paying the zone for this. Like, I was like, what the fuck? But okay, you know, it's like, but okay. Now he's coached by his, what's going on, Damon? He's coached by his uncle, Matthew. He's coached by his uncle. Mr. Africa said, it's so obvious you're a Wilder boy. Why? First of all, nigga, I ain't no boy. You're gonna get kicked out for calling me a boy. I'm a 52-year-old man, bitch. Do not call me no boy. I'm older than you, more than likely. Fuck off, mister. Fuck off, mister. Okay? Get your respect right. Okay? Get your respect right. And then come back under some other long-ass name I ain't gonna waste my time pronouncing. Matchroom is the only promotion putting on fights. That's not true. Not true, not true, not true. They might have been the only ones putting a fight on last night, you know, yesterday, but it's still a domestic fight. It was still a domestic fight card. When Ted Cheeseman fought and he won, and I love the commentators, dude. Love the fucking commentators. Chris Congo looked like shit, though. Chris Congo need to bring his ass to the United States and figure out how to fight, man. That shit was fucking ridiculous for him to lose to that dude, man. You just are fucking morons. Hey, get your story straight, dog. It's, you know, get your lies straight, okay? It's not me dissing anybody. That's not the lie. The lie is the other way around. So if you're going to lie, if you're going to talk about some shit that didn't happen, at least talk about the right shit that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, dog, I'm not a boy, dog. So just fuck up off the top, dog. You're a disrespectful individual to be calling a man with a gray beard boy. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, dude, are you really a black man over there in Africa? Or are you one of them, fake ass dudes holding shit down? I think you're a fake ass dude holding shit down because what self-respecting African would root for Tyson Fury the way that motherfucker cheated? Huh? See, like I said, you get your act together, you guys could run the fucking world. But you got dipshits like you out there calling grown black men boys. Calling 50-year-old men boys. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you, dog? It's like somebody, you know what pisses me off? Every time, and I never fuck with somebody after they do this, when they call me buddy. Hey, buddy. Motherfucker, I ain't your buddy. What the fuck is what buddy? Buddy? What the fuck is buddy? I ain't your fucking buddy. My name is Martin, man. Nice to meet you. You know what I mean? But cats, you know, that's how they do you. Exactly. Lula Ma M said he's an Afro-coon. Has to be, man. That is basic coonery to call a grown-ass man a boy. That is just right off the bat, dog. You either, you know what you are? You either Irish, where that shit is acceptable, because Irish will call grown men boys. They'll call each other boys. So I've heard Irish men call other Irish men boys. So in their culture, it's not that big a deal, right? But you fuck around and call a 60-year-old man a fucking boy in the United States, and had a black man. You fuck around and call a black man in the United States, a 60-year-old black man in the United States, a boy, and see if you don't get your chin turned. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in Ireland they do that shit. So I ain't really bugging on Ireland. Ireland is just, you know, that's Ireland. So, you know, they do what the fuck they do. I like Irish. Irish is the one place, one country, when they have a national holiday in the United States, that everybody is welcome to that bitch, dog. I love St. Patrick's Day, dog. Black people dressing green, Asian people dressing green, and just shit. That day, the motherfuckers are Irish for the day. It's like, I love that tradition in the United States. You can't call me buddy, but it's okay to call me dog. Exactly, yeah. You're getting the fucking point, John Mack. You can call me a dog. What's up, dog? Absolutely. Because you're talking about, hey, Ian McDonald, suck a dick and go to another channel. Yeah. Calling somebody a dog, throw that dude out through us. My kick out button is fucked up. Throw out Ian McDonald for me. Yeah, I would prefer to be called a dog over a boy. What's good, dog? That's my dog. You know what that means? That's your friend. Right? Dog is man's best friend. No, I'm not hypocritical at all. There are grown-up dogs. If you call me, man, you big as a gorilla. Hey, man, I'm not going to take that as an insult. If you say that's my dog and you believe dogs are protective and your best friend, that's a metaphor, idiot. That is called a metaphor, idiot. Like, would I have an issue with somebody saying you're cool? Oh, man, you're cool. Oh, no, I'm not. My body's 98.6. I'm warm. No, moron, I wouldn't. It's a phrase. But if you call me a boy and I'm clearly a man, that's a fucking insult to a man to call him a boy. Quite honestly, I'm learning that it's an insult to a woman to call her a female. Don't call motherfuckers shit that you don't want. What good connotation is that calling me a boy? If you say that's my boy, then that is a colloquial phrase that's acceptable, moron. You know what? You cats from foreign countries think you're smart. I've noticed that. Like, you must really believe in the stereotype of the dumb American. Dog, I'm not that stereotype. So try that shit with somebody else, homie. Back to Dillian bitch-ass Whyte, though. We say, word, that's mad disrespectful. It is. It's very disrespectful to call a grown man a boy, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Go around and call somebody a fucking boy. I dare you. I like dog boy. No, you don't, John Mack. You know what? You're the fuck out, dog. You're a clown. Oh, throw John Mack out too. Anyway. Don't forget to hit that like button because it forces the algorithm to share the video. Please do, man. Kim Wells, you funny, man. Yeah, you got to get the fuck up out of here, dog. Don't call me a boy, man. I don't appreciate it, man. So, anyway. Said, born and raised in Liberty, Louisiana, I know how it is to call a grown man a boy. Yeah, dog. Especially a grown-ass black man, dog. You getting the fuck out calling somebody a boy, dog. That is just not a nah. No. That's why I'm saying if you're an African, I don't know if you can't call no African no boy. What's up, man? You just a boy. Hey, boy. Hey, boy. Get the fuck out of here, man. Hey, B&B Fannon, they really do think we're dumb. I can show them dumb. Oh, they think we're dumb, dog. Like the whole myth of the uneducated American, especially where it comes to black Americans, dog, they're so easy to get over on, man, because they keep thinking people are stupid and they can't get past their head. They can't get past their head that the face that they're seeing, which is a black face, does not have resting behind it the ignorance that other people lie and associate with it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what that shit is. Just hit the like button. Fannon, why are you engaging with those simple minds? It's fun because every time because you need to illuminate people, man. Sometimes you need to let people know. But we'll get back on boxing. Let's get on to the boxing. So, oh my God, me and my tribe, Kosa, we especially get offended. I can't say Kosa. It's that you got that click. We especially get offended being called a boy. Yeah, dog. Motherfuckers ain't fuck with it. Dead Game Boxing said, Fannon got on his Noops colors. Yeah, dog. I'm rolling with the Noops today. Shout out to the Noops, man. Don Richie, but let's get into that's a good question. I don't think boxers in 2021 are afraid to fight. Boxers in 2021, but yeah, say, good try for now. I can't click. I cannot click to save my motherfucking life, dog. Big Dog Willie will get us back on the subject, man. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting the Instagram. Every bit of the super chats you guys give, go to the Instagram. He said, why every time Dillian Whyte opened his mouth, my hate level for him rises? He's that guy on the hoop court, talk a lot of crap like he's good, but he's not. Well, the first time is because the motherfucker be lying. Because he lies like a rug. That's why. Because he lies like a rug. But let me get to the lie this dude told, man. Eddie Hearn with a straight face said, hey, Dillian, didn't Deontay ask you, or didn't Deontay text you and say he would never fight you? Bro, what's the context for that? But anyway, then he turns around and says that we were chasing Deontay Wilder. We're not chasing him anymore, right? He got knocked out. But now Deontay Wilder is chasing Dillian Whyte. Isn't it interesting how the tide have turned, how Deontay Wilder is chasing Dillian Whyte? Will somebody please tell me, a Dillian Whyte fan, I know you're here somewhere, when Deontay Wilder said that he wanted to fight Dillian Whyte, when did he say this, Eddie Hearn? When did he say that? I'd be very interested to know, because my understanding is he ain't gave no interviews. My understanding is the last communications that he had, he put out a video about Tyson Fury cheating, and then he took Tyson Fury to court for his arbitration and mediation clause. If Deontay Wilder was chasing Dillian Whyte, then why is he trying to get the Tyson Fury fight? Liar. You're just a liar, man. Just a flat out liar. And that's what's wrong with boxing. The flat out lying. The flat out lying. If you guys would stop flat out lying, then the sport may have some credibility again. But you just lie. Just flat out lie. I have not heard, like in basketball, they don't just flat out lie and say some shit like, oh, we're trying to, or do they? I'm sure they do flat out lie now. However, just a flat out lie about some shit that everybody knows ain't true, anybody that's paying any attention knows ain't true. Like, come on, Eddie. Ronald Jones said, salute, Martin. Thanks for putting me on to Scrapbook Boxing. Just watched Jimmy Young versus Foreman. Haven't seen that fight since I was a kid. Yeah, man, Scrapbook Boxing is incredible. No joke. Scrapbook Boxing's channel is absolutely incredible. I was given that reference. I was referred to him by Blood Boxing. And, you know, Blood Boxing as a historian and an aficionado of the sport is one of the people that I respect the most, definitely in YouTube. So when he put me on to Scrapbook Boxing, it was like, look, Scrapbook Boxing is about the only guy that I know of on YouTube. And I agree with this now. And this is something that Blood Boxing said. Scrapbook Boxing and probably Boxing Librarian out in the UK. And, you know, I hear that there's somebody else. Scrapbook Boxing, but I think Scrapbook Boxing above everybody is somebody that is really qualified to give top 10 pound for pound all time, because he really knows all the fighters to compare everybody against. Where everybody else, given their all-time greats, haven't heard of 80% of the fighters that they should be considering, you know what I mean? So it's not really possible to make a good decision if you don't really have the depth of information that Scrapbook Boxing has, man. And he speaks like, you can tell that he speaks about those old school fighters, and he's like, man, he remembers the fight and he's watching it like he was still there. Truly loves the sport of boxing, man. Hey, man, I'm a huge fan of that channel. Wilder should chase him down and knock him out. I'd like to see Wilder in the ring anyways. He could make more money and grab belts Whyte is holding. Nah, that's not Luis Torres. Dillian Whyte doesn't have any belts, and there's no money in the Dillian Whyte fight. Dillian Whyte just got knocked out last fight, dog. I love how the UK acts as if that shit erases what I saw. You know what I'm saying? But I just saw his ass get knocked out by a 40-year-old dude in his last fight before this. Okay? And he came back and beat the same old man. They got beat by Michael Hunter, and got knocked out by Anthony Joshua. Nah, man, it's just, dude, that's Alexander Povetkin. That's an old-ass fighter, dog. Nah, Rummy's Corner is not like, that's not like Scrapbook, dog. I could do Rummy's Corner, dog. I could do Rummy's Corner. That shit is like, I mean, no disrespect to Rummy's Corner. I mean, it's a good channel. He has very, very good production, but I mean, the messages that are delivered in that, dog, I know several people that can do that. They could do that. Several people can do that. Because that's pretty much just you breaking down, you looking at a subject, you doing an outline, you making sure that you have your facts in order, and then you write a script on top of the video. That's not complex, man. That's not difficult. It's time consuming, but it's not difficult. What is difficult is, or what you cannot have is age. You just can't replace age. I believe that Scrapbook Boxing must be in the 70s. Like, I would guess that he's no less 70s. He may be in his 80s. I mean, he seems like he's around my father's age. And you cannot replace knowledge that is acquired over time. I mean, it's very, very difficult. Unless you can enter some psychic state where that information is made available to you at an earlier age and without you actually experiencing it, you know, absent those type of savant skills and talent, you're going to actually have to live those years to get that and actually be there and experience it. You see right now, even with this Dillian Whyte, Deontay Wilder conversation, how just a little bit of information is missed and how Eddie Hearn can use it to manipulate people, right? He assumes people don't remember all of the conversations that took place around Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder never had a reason to want to fight Dillian Whyte. Deontay Wilder had a reason to try to unify all the belts. I Rise says, salute Martin. We didn't get Dillian Whyte's B sample from the Oscar Rivas. We were simply told there was no case to answer, whilst his A sample turned up discrepancy is sickening. Yeah, man. I mean, I suspect what they did was they gave him a retroactive therapeutic use exemption. More than likely. Because they allow that in the UK. It's just, dude, looking at Ted Cheeseman, man, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ted Cheeseman was in such, like, get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people can get upset with me, but a lot of people don't know who Ted Cheeseman is. But as soon as I saw him in the locker room, I was like, man, that dude looks like he's juicing. He looks like he's juicing. Clearly. You know what I'm saying? Just from the way his body looks. Like, come on, man. You literally have nothing on your body but skin and muscle. You have nothing but skin, muscle, and bone on you, dude. Get out of here, man. You know what I mean? You said scrapbook boxing and boxing historian, Martin. No, this guy's kind of a jackass. I don't particularly like the guy very much because he's very disrespectful to me for no fucking reason. You know, as in stick with fucking history, dog. Today, right now, I know what's going on right now. 150 years ago, okay, great. I'll go buy a book and find out. But I gave that dude too big of a commercial, dog, because the cat is a hater like a motherfucker. However, he definitely is a boxing historian. His name is Boxing Librarian. And when he's not talking politics, the information that he provides is a beautiful conversation about the history of boxing every time. But, you know, he just gets in his feelings and has issues with people that do videos about modern day boxing. You know what I mean? But that's just what it is, man. But I will give the dude a plug for boxing history because no doubt about it, he really does analyze it and has a wealth of information. Really, he does. Him and Professor Doc, they used to run together. Very, very good, man. Very, very good dudes. Very, very good boxing historians. Ant Killer said, good morning, bro. Brothers and sisters, what's good, man? Look, man, Deontay Wilder was cheated. I don't give a shit if he was TKO'd or not. The dude was cheated, dude. And actually, he wasn't even TKO'd. They threw in the towel. Well, yeah, they threw in the towel. I think that's retired. No, you can't come out. Maybe when they throw the towel in, that is a TKO. No, that is not right. Whyte appealed the A sample, which allowed the fight to proceed. So, why the fuck should that happen? I'm sorry, imagine that they had a review of the Saturday morning of the fight. This allowed them to fight waiting for the B sample to return. It's nasty. Yeah, you're agreeing with me. I'm sorry. I was about to snap on that shit. Hey, Corey McGowan, thank you so much for supporting the channel and the super chat. It's very, very important. Definitely helps us do what we're doing over there on the Instagram page and promoting the fighters over there. So thank you very much. Corey McGowan said they gave Whyte a belt and a plank. What is that about? Confusing the people. Shake my effing head. Boxing. You know, you gotta have a belt for everything. But he got mad about the belt because he said, Rosecrans says, stall him out for 9. I ain't stalling none of these niggas out, dog. I ain't stalling none of these dudes out, man. These people have absolutely no mercy on me. None. Will say anything, do anything that comes to their mind, dog. So fuck it. Everything is fair in love and war, homie. And I'm gonna talk about you bad. Just straight up. I'm gonna talk about you bad. So you know. Fannon, about to put my clothes in the dryer, but I'm trying to get a fight with Oscar. I'll come to Dallas and go through the amateur program and have 5 fights and knock him out. S. Johnson, you can say a lot of things about Oscar De La Hoya. Whooping his ass should not be one of them, dog. Oscar De La Hoya will lay an ass whooping on somebody. Shit. If you didn't know, Oscar De La Hoya got them hands, man. Oscar De La Hoya can throw. And he's one of the best fighters. Like, what happened to Oscar De La Hoya after he got out of boxing with the cocaine and the parties with the girls that look real freaky? His business decisions and may have not gone the way that he wanted to go. You can say a lot of stuff about Oscar De La Hoya. I was not a fan of him when he was fighting because I just didn't like Oscar. That was me just personally. I just didn't like him because I thought he was kind of, full of shit. But in that ring, Oscar De La Hoya threw them Oscar De La Hoya threw the motherfucking hands, dog. And Oscar De La Hoya fought everybody. Like, Oscar De La Hoya fought fucking Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? He fought Hopkins. He fought Fernando Vargas, Shane Mosley twice. He fought Tito Trinidad. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez. He fought Pernell Whitaker. I mean, dog. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, at a certain point in time, dog, you got to get I got to get a man what the man has, dude. That dude is no joke in that ring, dog. You know, a couple things that Oscar got that I didn't appreciate, right? Like, I didn't appreciate them giving the Oscar the decision over Pernell Whitaker. I thought that was horse shit. I thought that was complete horse shit. But yeah, fought Ike Cortez. I mean, he fought everybody, man. Everybody, dude. So, you know, it's kind of like, for me, Oscar De La Hoya is a little bit like, yeah, exactly. Hated Oscar ever since they cheated Pernell Whitaker. Yeah, that's the thing that did it to me, because he lost that fight, dog. And then the shit he was talking afterwards, like, I don't need to have this fight, other things to go on. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. What did you land, like 2 punches all fight? Just get the fuck out of here. However, you know, that's Pernell Whitaker, okay? That's motherfucking Sweet Pea. So, you know, getting embarrassed by Sweet Pea is Sweet Pea. So Oscar is fighting on a trill. Why he ain't fighting on Golden Boy? Well, Golden Boy can do a promotion with Triller if they don't have an exclusive contract with ESPN. But this is what, hey, much love, Corey McGowan, and thank you, dude, for holding down the live stream this morning in the super chats and helping with the funds we need to continue to do what we do on Instagram. But this is what it reminds me of, dude. Oscar De La Hoya reminds me of, like, my feelings about Larry Bird. I hated Larry Bird's ass to death in the 1980s. Couldn't stand him. Looking for every reason for him not to be good. You know what I mean? Was cracking jokes of, with Arsenio Hall about how everybody on the Boston Celtics was ugly. Like, the whole thing, dog. But on the real, looking back after, it didn't take too long after that to look back and be like, God dog, man. Larry Bird, when he was healthy, was just an absolute monster, dog. He could do whatever. You could say he's slow. You could say what you wanted about him. But that dude was buckets all day and night. And if they would have had a 3-point line his entire career, you don't know what he would have scored, because that dude damn near didn't miss. I still have a hard time with people telling me that Steph Curry and these guys are better shooters than Larry Bird, dog. Like, it's just, I still don't believe it. I don't care what those numbers say, dog, because Larry Bird will score from anywhere. Larry Bird will spend just as much time scoring in the post as he will at mid-range, and just as much time at mid-range as he is out long distance, dog. And he hit that shit when that shit counted. Splash. Man, he was a killer, dog. A killer, I'm telling you, man. So they mad that the boy got knocked out by Joyce. Look, man, it is what it is, dog. Hey, what y'all got think about Fabio Worley? Fabio Worley is going to get his ass knocked out. However, he's very, very fun to watch, dog. I'm telling you, Lula M, he said, you can talk a lot of shit about Oscar, but whooping his ass is not one of them. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Man, Oscar De La Hoya will put that shit on your ass. Man, Oscar De La Hoya is a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez, man. Like all they say about Canelo Alvarez, dude, I'm sorry. Canelo Alvarez is yet to become Oscar De La Hoya, dog. He is yet to be Oscar De La Hoya. And I don't think that he's a better fighter than Oscar De La Hoya. I think Oscar De La Hoya is a better fighter. He was definitely a bigger name. And Canelo is really just, trying to get to where Oscar De La Hoya was very early in his career, man. Oscar De La Hoya was clearly a huge star, which is why I don't even want to hear no shit about these dudes not fighting nobody, man. Because Oscar De La Hoya makes all these dudes look like shit. No joke, dog. His competition level makes Canelo Alvarez's opposition level looks like shit. Makes everybody's look like shit, with the grand exception of what Errol Spence Jr. is doing at 147. Errol Spence Jr. started his career later than than Oscar De La Hoya, and he ain't climbing weight classes, but he literally is fighting the best people in those weight classes, dude. Him beating Mikey Garcia, beating Sean Porter, beating Danny Garcia, beating Kell Brook, dog, that shit ain't no joke, man. And if he gets the Terrence Crawford fight, that is some big shit. And I don't doubt at all that he'd move up to 154 and fight Jermell. I don't doubt it, dog. It'd be a funny fight to see, but I bet you he'd go up there and fight him, though. Yeah, Jermell's a beast too. Yeah, Jermell's got good competition too. No doubt about it. Very, very good competition, man. Very good competition. But I don't think at the level of, I don't think it's at the level that Errol Spence Jr. has fought at yet. You know what I mean? Now, if he gets the Austin Trout fight, not Austin Trout, if he was to get Jarrett Hurd, like if he was to go through Jarrett Hurd, go through J-Rock, right? Go through those guys again, even though Jarrett Hurd lost and J-Rock has got knocked out twice, twice, right? But because he says he wants to stay there. If Jermell stays there and he beats, beats Castano, and Danny Garcia moves up, he beats Danny Garcia, and Errol Spence Jr., despite them being in the same camp, if they were to fight and he was to win that fight, dude, then yeah, Jermell's doing his thing, dog. Jermell is really doing his thing. And very, 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 very underrated, man. Very underrated in the sport of boxing. Primarily, I think, because he's black. I don't know. You guys tell me. Probably because he's black. For real. I'm finding it funny how these cats keep talking about Virgil Ortiz like this. Dog, Virgil Ortiz is not better than Jaron Ennis. And I want to hear people start asking Virgil Ortiz about Virgil Ortiz's contemporaries and not talk about Virgil fighting guys that he thinks he can beat that are the champions. Because truth be told, Virgil Ortiz is not going to get a fight with Sean Porter. And he more than likely is not going to get a fight with Terrence Crawford. He's going to get or is he going to get a fight with Errol Spence Jr.? Because those guys are going to be at 154 pounds before the next 2 or 3 fights that Virgil Ortiz is going to get. Boots will beat the piss out of Virgil Ortiz, dog. I think he'll beat the piss out of Virgil Ortiz. Not just beat him, beat the piss out of Virgil Ortiz. That shit to me is like, a lopsided Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. fight. Lopsided, dog. I think that shit's a lopsided fight between Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis. But you know how it is. How often do you hear people really talking about Jaron Ennis? I push Jaron Ennis videos, right? I make sure I do at least one Jaron Ennis video a month, because I'll be damned if my catalog, if my Jaron Ennis catalog ain't together. Y'all ain't gonna call me no bandwagon dude with Jaron Ennis. Y'all gonna bandwagon Jaron Ennis. If Jaron Ennis has a chin, and that's the only thing I'm saying, if Jaron Ennis has a chin, if he can take a clear shot, if he can take clean shots, and he's tough, I don't care, dog. I think he's beating everybody. I think that motherfucker's gonna beat everybody, dog. I think he's a better talent. I think he's a better talent or as good a talent. I think he's as good a talent as I thought Andre Ward was coming out of the Olympics. For I couldn't understand for the life of me how people did not see that Andre Ward was going to run through that Super 6, man. Like, no clue. And that y'all don't really I don't care, dog. Boxers know boxing in the ring and they know fighting. But, dog, boxers are not really the best at saying who's going to win fights. Like, I'm sorry, dog. It's either that they're just riding for their team all the time, or, dog, they just, ain't no better than anybody else at picking who's going to win a fight. Anybody else that watches boxing on a regular basis. Because and this is my thought on it. Your mind perceives everything that's going on in that ring, dog. Like, if you watch something long enough and from your vantage point, If you watch enough competitions, you will come to an understanding of the ebb and flow of those competitions. Even if you don't understand it to the degree where you can teach it to somebody else, right? So like there's a lot of people that can tell you, oh, this team is going to win this, but they couldn't tell you how to shoot a jump shot, right? They can't tell you, just so people can tell you, oh, dude, this, like for example, Jaron, Ennis, and Virgil Ortiz. I can't tell you what technique, Jaron, Ennis, like that Virgil Ortiz needs to work on to become, I could put it this, I could not go into a ring with Virgil Ortiz and teach him shit. But I promise you, I'll tell you, he's going to get his ass whooped by Jaron Ennis. And I doubt very, very much if I'm wrong about that shit. I got that shit like an 80-20, dog. Well, 70-30, dude. Because the likelihood is that Jaron Ennis is going to pot shot the shit out that kid, dude. Pot shot the shit out of him, dude. I just don't see, because that style that Virgil Ortiz fights in, at least this is my impression of it. A very good guy that's trained by guys like Nacho Beristain, people like Eduardo Garcia, people like Robert Garcia, right? I'm sure they're Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso's a little different, but because the style that he's teaching is a little bit different, but because he patterns it, because Canelo is patterned after Mayweather a good bit. And also, I think he probably watched a lot of like Henry Armstrong. You know what I mean? Canelo's got a lot of influences. But typically speaking, those very high quality fighters like a Juan Manuel Marquez, a Mikey Garcia, Eric Morales, who are other really, really great Mexican fighters like that fit into that general mold, right? If you put those guys in with an American, quote unquote, American style fighter, and that American style fighter is not very, very good, they're going to beat them, right? So they're going to beat them, and they'll be able to overcome them with what? Their pressure, and their work pace, right? Because if somebody's defense, if they're relying on this, but that's all they really have, right, is to give you this side of their head and try to time you, dog, them guys have that shit down. They have it down because they fought, because they have prepared against so many fighters over so many years that they have that institutional knowledge necessary to break down that style. However, when that style, that American quote-unquote style, is coupled with athleticism and a well-schooled variety, like a Floyd Mayweather Jr., a Sugar Ray Leonard, somebody like that, dog, they're going to get their ass whooped. They're going to get their ass whooped because they're going to be a step ahead of them for the entire fight because of their athleticism and because their style is designed to take advantage of that. And if they don't want to do that, right, similar to what Gervonta Davis did or did with Leo Santa Cruz, or what Floyd Mayweather Jr. will do with somebody if he don't respect him. Come in right behind that high guard. Block, 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 parry, parry, bow, bow, bow. You know what I'm saying? Bow. That aspect of it, right? And Jaron Ennis has that aspect of it. He can fight from the outside. I've seen him fight from mid-range and up close, dude. That dude is nasty. That dude is nasty up close, dog. Nasty. So, but I will say that I've never seen him fight where he's just like really trying to like boom, 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 like really wear the dude's body and break that dude's body down. But I wouldn't be doubt if that cat could do that, you know? Love Down Gatherer said, Fannon, boxers know they are haters if they give Ennis credit because fans gonna get them to fight him, so they won't give him credit. Yeah, well, I think that you're right, but I would add this. David Wilson, I'm not gonna thank you for your money, and I'm still gonna block you. Thank you for supporting to the channel, but I'm still throwing you out. Okay? Don't come in here politely trying to start shit. Thank you very much. Whyte and Wilder, top class, AJ and Fury, elite fighters. What the fuck are you talking about? Why? Why would AJ be an elite fighter and Deontay Wilder not be? Under what logic, dude? Deontay Wilder is the one that had 5 years as the WBC champion and 10 successful title defenses. He has over 42 fights and 40 knockouts. That dumbass is elite. Elite. That bum, Dillian Whyte, has been knocked out cold twice. Knocked out cold twice. Knocked out cold by AJ. Oh, did he not knocked out by... He didn't get knocked out cold by AJ, but he got knocked out by AJ, and he got knocked out by old-ass man. Deontay Wilder split fights with the guy that you say is elite. If Deontay Wilder can drop Tyson Fury 2 times and get a draw with him, successfully defend his title, why wouldn't he be elite too? AJ got knocked out by Andy Ruiz. Knocked out by Andy Ruiz. Is Andy Ruiz elite? No. So Deontay Wilder can get cheated by an elite, can get a draw with an elite fighter, knock that elite fighter damn near completely out cold in the 12th round, and he ain't elite? Fuck out of here, dog. You one of them bozos that are trying to sell that horse shit over there in the UK. Okay? Keep your UK horse shit to yourself. Bring the good shit. Keep your horse shit. Okay? Bring Josh Taylor for that Jose Ramirez undisputed fight. Keep your Dillian Whyte horse shit to yourself. He just got knocked the fuck out cold. And he got caught cheating against Oscar Rivas. He looked like shit against Marius Awak. Looked like shit against Marius Awak. Deontay Wilder knocked out Luis Ortiz twice. Knocked him out twice. Oh, but that's not elite? Tell Tyson Fury's bitch ass to get in there with Luis Ortiz and knock him out. Tell Dillian Whyte to get in the ring with Luis Ortiz. How about that? How about Dillian Whyte fight Luis Ortiz? He wants to come to America, right? He's looking for an opponent, right? Luis Ortiz is here. Luis Ortiz is the second best heavyweight in the United States. Luis Ortiz will knock Dillian Whyte the fuck out. Is what he will do to Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte will get knocked out cold by Luis Ortiz. Cold. Nesty plunge, knocked the fuck out by Luis Ortiz, dog. Knocked out. And he says he wants to come over to the United States. Who's he trying to fight? Trevor Bryant. Trevor Bryant. Not Luis Ortiz, Trevor Bryant. I'm sexy too. I am bald. Adds to my sexiness. Just telling you, I'm a very sexy individual. Women like it, homie. Women like it. See, bozos like you are the reason I started showing my face. I was like, okay, clowns, you think y'all get pussy. You don't get pussy because you ugly, nigga. Put your picture in your motherfucking avatar, homeboy. See if you got enough nerve to show your face to 100,000 people and never get called ugly. I'm a noob. I'll tell you to your face, dog. I get bitches, homie. You don't. Hey, oh, excuse me. I got bitches. I don't get bitches anymore. I'm married. However, trust me, mine at 48 is way colder than your shit at 24. Okay? My 48-year-old wife is better than your 24-year-old one. Guarantee you. Better looking, makes more money, smarter, more loyal, all of the above. Got a PhD to boot. You got a dime piece with a PhD? When you do, bump your bitch ass lips about me being bald, dummy. I love it, man. I love talking shit to y'all. Cause you garbage. Cause you garbage, dog. You garbage. How you gonna have 500 people listening to you on Sunday morning, dog, at one time, dog? For all you bitch ass niggas, just wake you bitch ass niggas up. I don't give near a fuck about you. Cause you ain't shit. If you worked very, very hard and you became something tremendously successful and wealthy, I still wouldn't give a fuck about you, dog. Because what that got to do with me? Nothing. That man said, I just got a piece. Damn, fam. I'm just trying to told you. Hey, my man Bruce Lee in that super chat says, Whyte is still there, but Wilder needs to end this guy. Not trying to hate, but I'm tired of Whyte and Hearn. Nah, dog. He doesn't need to do that. He needs to fight Tyson Fury. They are through their second fight in a trilogy. And bitch ass Tyson Fury is trying to skip out. He's trying to skip out of a fight he agreed to. Absolutely, my girl got a PhD. Bitch niggas. Yes. Nationally renowned in her profession, by the way. Highly respected in her profession. Fuck you, nigga. Dog. I'm just trying to tell you, dog. Just leave me alone, dog. Leave me alone, dog. I'm a 52-year-old man, homie. It's going to take some years for you. Anyway, let's get back to smash that like for Martin. Yeah, man, please smash the like button. Please hit that like button, dog. If you can't donate through the super chat, please hit the like button and hit the share button. That would be great too. Exactly. Said MJ was bald and still a GOAT. What does that have to do with anything? It has something to do with their insecurities. Absolutely has something to do with your insecurities. You should be able to take away anything that you have, whatever you value the most, with the exception of your life. You should be able to, on your person, your clothes, your car, your house, you should be able to lose all of that shit and still feel like you're a man. Still feel like it. Still feel like it. And why is that? Because you are of God. If you are of God, then what does anything that anybody have to say about you or think about you truly affect you? It wouldn't. So your dumbass trying to throw light insults at me, you tell on yourself. Tell on yourself. Because somebody that had a true appreciation of the nature of existence would never suppose that somebody else would be insecure about something as menial as having their hair stop growing here and begin growing here. You're just weak-minded, dog, and you show it when you leave those comments, dog. Ahmedi Mumini Ba. Salute Fannon from London. Ring my doorbell before you come in. Smash the like button. Absolutely, man. Smash that like button, man. Broderick Hunter said, Fannon, tell him like Candace told Shaq, get the surprise. Get the surprise out your comment. Hey, get the surprise out your comment. I never heard that shit, but that's hilarious, man. Oh my God, that shit is hilarious. Yeah, they be popping dirty, dude. Europeans will pop dirty and still be allowed to play. Dude, they don't care, man. They don't. I believe, it's my personal opinion that the European boxing community does not care about steroids. Similar to the reputation that Eastern Europeans have, that they don't see anything wrong with steroids. The way they view it is that it is technology no different than boxing gloves, no different than nutrition, no different than anything else. That if they are allowed to consume testosterone, that it will strengthen their bodies, and they don't believe that there's anything wrong with that. They would just say everybody else needs to do it too. It would be like, well, if you have this advance that you can take advantage of, why wouldn't you? Because it's not your testosterone, you fucking cheater. That's why. Same reason that you don't get to race the 100 meters in a car. You know what I'm saying? Motorcycles are technology too. I guess you should be able to be in the starting block with a fucking Harley Davidson, right? Go, bring. I bet you'll beat him in 100 on your motorcycle too. It's still cheating, you know? And some people in the US don't like that shit. Believe it's cheating and believe that what you're doing is you are trying to make up for your lack of athleticism. Because that's what steroids allows you to do. Make up for your lack of athleticism. Either the endurance aspect, the strength aspect, the agility aspect, the focus aspect. They have drugs that will help with all of that. And all of it is making up for deficiencies that you have in your own talent. Some people don't need that shit to be muscular as fuck. Some people don't need that to have tremendous endurance. But if you give the same people that have those natural talents the same steroids as people that don't have it, you will find the same result. They're going to get their ass whooped. And then all of a sudden, the people won't like it anymore. Right? Do you remember Barry Bonds? Who didn't know all those dudes was juicing? And that their bats were corked? And that ball was played with? Bruce Lee said, bruh, you are great and looking good. I can't even hate on you, but please keep fighting for my dog Wilder. Look, man, Bruce Lee, do not listen to dumb ass rumors about what I think. The best way to ask what I think is to ask me directly. And I have never stopped supporting Wilder at all. Never have. Am I going to do what everybody tells me to do specifically? Fuck no. I'm not going to do and say what you want me to say specifically. Because if I don't buy it, I don't buy it. Or if I can't sell it, I'm not going to sell it. But if I can sell it, I'm going to sell it. Full-fledged. And what I'm selling with Deontay Wilder is this. And it's very simple. Deontay Wilder got cheated against Tyson Fury in both fights. I saw the videotape evidence. Without a doubt, he was cheated by Tyson Fury. Without a doubt. Tyson Fury was hitting him with his knuckles in the first fight because his glove is half off. And you see it flopping around when he's punching. It's obvious that he cheated in the first fight. I saw the photos for the second fight, and I saw those photos directly off of the photographer's website. I had heard about the cheating allegations before. I never said anything until I saw the gloves. I never said that I believe Glovegate for what, maybe 2 months? Until somebody was like, no, Fannon, look at this. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. And I wouldn't look because I did not want to get into it. I didn't want it. I did not want to say, geez, I know how much we've been talking about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, and I thought Deontay Wilder was going to win the fight. I do not want to say that Tyson Fury cheated because that is going to put me in a position where I'm going to have to defend myself from being called a hater and a sore loser. So I purposely avoided it, dude. And I avoided it during the whole time that other guy, what's the guy's name? Young Pharaoh was making the videos. Other people were making the videos. I did not do any of that until about the 10th time somebody was like, no, Fannon, look at the pictures. Look at the pictures. At that point in time, I was like, damn, dog. Damn. I have to look at it. I have to. Because I know cheating takes place. Let me look. So then I looked, and I was like, the first time I was like, oh, that's the line on his hand. Then I was like, oh, no. Dude, that shit fucked my head up. Because I was like, no. That is not his palm. That is his fingers. Because it's a vertical line. Your lines on your hand are all horizontal, or this one is curved. If it was the middle of his glove, you would have seen lines going this way and maybe this way. You would never see him this way. So when I saw this, I was like, shit, they are telling the truth. This man's hand is not in that glove, and he is hitting that man with bare knuckles up against the side of his head. That is what Tyson Fury did in that fight, in the first fight. And anybody says different, you're lying. You're just lying, okay? If I see a deer get hit by a car and then it dies, you cannot tell me you shot it, okay? I saw the car accident. I saw it fly over. No, the car killed it. I see all the bruises on the side of it. Do not tell me you were in the woods and you hunted this. No, you're trying to feed me roadkill, dog. No. Right? Same thing with Tyson Fury not cheating. Dude, do not try to sell me roadkill. That man cheated. And you know it. And you know it. And in the second fight, he cheated. And you know it. So that's all I have to do. Deontay Wilder has a rematch clause. Dude, I told him ain't no way Tyson Fury's getting out of that. Why? Not because of something Deontay Wilder wants me to say or something that I heard from his team. No, because I'm an attorney. No fucking way are you getting out of that shit based on this. Deontay Wilder did not break any promises. ESPN and Fox won't pay for the fight because we're in a pandemic. Why would you bozos think you could get out of it? And this is the only conclusion that I can draw. Bob Arum knows damn well they can't get out of that shit. Frank Warren knows damn well they can't get out of that shit. Deontay Wilder knows damn well he can't get out of that shit. Tyson Fury is the one that's bitching out. Because Tyson Fury got caught cheating by Nicholas Asbury. He got caught cheating by Christian Hamer. Quite honestly, he got caught cheating by John McDermott. He got caught cheating with Deontay Wilder. And he has to go back in the ring with him under those auspices. And he knows there's not going to be any neck wrenching. There's not be any gloves hanging off. There's not going to be any padded gloves in there. And Deontay Wilder knows the guy can't take a punch. Dude, Tyson Fury, if he could punch, why didn't he knock out Deontay Wilder in that second fight? With those gloves. He still didn't knock him out. And the knockdown, really, the dude looked like he tripped over his leg while he got hit and thrown. Dog, I support Deontay Wilder because the facts support Deontay Wilder. And that is what everybody should understand. And I appreciate that, Bruce Lee. Said those cornballs won't consider it cheating. They'll consider it a competitive edge. This is what I think it is. Because, stereotypes are something serious. Because once you have a stereotype in your head, most of your decisions about somebody are already made by other people, right? So if you have a stereotype in your head about black athletes, well, let's go this one. If you have a stereotype in your head about black people being unintelligent, I'm going to destroy you every time. Every time. Because you're going to approach me as if I'm dumb. And I'm not. So your preconceived notions about black people has dumbed you down and weakened you, because you will now come talk to me and not be fully prepared, not be fully respectful. You will throw fallacies around as if I won't catch them, and you will get your ass eaten up. I know the majority of the fallacies by name and can call them out while you're doing them. So even if your ass has a point, you're going to get smashed, because the dialectics of it will get you ripped to pieces. Right? Same thing goes with this athleticism. What I say is not completely true. Black people are not, as a group, athletically superior to other groups of people. I do not believe that. What I believe is that there are certain strands of black people in America that are better athletes than other people. That I believe wholeheartedly. I am a black person. I have generations of black people in my family. None of them, except for maybe one that I know of, who's distantly related, is of the athleticism that Usain Bolt has, or Deion Sanders has, or Deontay Wilder has. They are the super athletes, dude. Deontay Wilder is a super athlete. I've heard enough about him and his exploits in Texas. Well, see, dude, look, man, we're all different strands of us, dog. Like, I'm not literally the same biological makeup as Deion Sanders. I'm not. Deion Sanders' son probably can run like a motherfucker, dude. You know what I mean? Probably can go like you can't believe. Same thing with Mike Conley and Mike Conley and his son, Mike Conley Jr. Dude, that is a strand of athleticism that passes through them. My father played football. My father was, I believe, the best football player in the state of Pennsylvania and one of the best football players in the country. And he was drafted into the pros as like 17 for baseball. But he decided to go to Wichita State for football. You know who he met there? He met Barry Sanders' father, who he was like, this dude is a common street thug. That's what they said about Barry Sanders' father. He was like, the dude, when he was a young kid, was a common street thug. But they let him on that team. And when they let him on that team, though he didn't stay there, they were like, Barry Sanders' father is the greatest athlete I'd ever seen. Best athlete my dad had ever seen on a football field. And he had several friends that got drafted into the NFL and knows and saw Jim Brown play. If you ask my dad who the better running back is, who would be the better running back between Jim Brown and Barry Sanders' father, I promise you my dad would have a hard time answering that question. He would be like, I can't tell you. Because Barry Sanders' father didn't have the opportunity to play as much because he was a street dude. What happens with that dude's son? That dude's son, who's not a street dude, turns into being, if not the best running back ever, definitely up there. Definitely deserves to be mentioned with Jim Brown. There's a chance that his father was more athletic than he was. So what I say about steroids is this. People make the assumption that black people, and I believe that they make this in their mind, that they believe that black people are cheating because they have natural advantages in athletics. They believe that. They believe the whole thing about black people having large phallics, right? Them being sexually dominant with females, right? That they are aggressive, that they run fast, right? Things that people would say like, a boxing historian said that about why they had no black fighters. The whole no NBF. Like, you can bring a fighter, but my fighter right now is not fighting any black fighters. And the reason that they said that was because, and I think it's a Matchroom matchmaker that's still working there, said that, because this came from Cameron Duncan, said that I can go to the street corner of any major city and pull aside 3 or 4 young black kids, and they will immediately know how to throw a jab. Immediately. But when I go to other areas, right, where it's not black people, you actually have to teach them to punch straight. Now, why would that be? I wonder. I wonder why. Black people fight a lot with their hands. People slap box. People know how to throw straight punches without ever entering a boxing ring because black people know how to fight. We fight. You know what I'm saying? We fight a lot. We don't mind throwing hands, dog, at all. Very confident in throwing hands. The reason why black people know how to throw hands is because we've been fighting since we were 5. Right? Fighting in our own family. If your family's anything like my family, we had fights in our house. My brother trained my older sister, and my older sister was my trainer. And when I was 5 years old and she was 6 years old or 7 years old, they would put us in a ring. They would put us and make a little makeshift ring and have us fight for money. Have us fight for money, right? And we did that shit a lot. Black eyes, busted lips. You know what I mean? The first one to bust a lip wins. So my sister would bust my lip, she wins. I bust her lip, I win. You know what I mean? And that is from just regular, dude. Cats want to slap box for fun. People slap box and fight for fun. That is why black people in those neighborhoods know how to throw punches right away, because they've been throwing punches. But what goes on in the mind of somebody that is a racist? Now, first, it's important for me to tell you what a racist is, the importance of it. A racist is somebody that believes that just by the nature of your racial classification, that you have certain characteristics that are common to you all. That's why they call it a race. So they would say everybody that is black-skinned and from this general area is in this race of people. The problem is that when you create all of these bogus stereotypes around those races, and you do it for the purpose of dominating them in all areas of human activity, right? You will get a lot of bullshit in your head about people. Steroids are justified because of the physical insecurity of non-black people, by and large. That is why they accept it. That's why they don't punish their own for using it. Why else? Who are most of the steroids being used against? They don't have any problem with Tyson Fury cheating at all, because the philosophy is that there's no problem with cheating in life. They don't have any problem boxing you out and not letting you have a job because you're black. They don't have any problem with that at all in any industry. If you go to the information technology field, they have no qualms whatsoever about not giving you a job because you're black. No problems with it. You can be highly intelligent, you can have the qualifications, and they still will say, no, I think I'm going to get this guy because this guy has better relationships. This guy went to the right school. His family he's in the right family. His father sits on this board. His aunt sits on that board. His cousin is influential over here. So even though we know that you can do the job, young man, sorry, you're not in the right community. They have no problem doing that, dude. None. They had no problem blackballing fighters out of the NBA like Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, like Craig Hodges, they have no problem blackballing. None. So why would you think that they would have a problem cheating you? Blackballing is cheating. Racial classifications for the sake of oppressing people is cheating. Because it's not me versus you. It's me versus your community. It's me as the young black man, right, trying to break into a field where none of my people are, trying to get somewhere where all of your people are. It's not one-on-one, it's one-on-many in that situation. Ask white people that try to get black people jobs. They'll tell you. They will tell you how hard it is for them to get that past people. Because they will say, come on, we're going to hire another black person, another one. You don't think that they feel that way about championships? If somebody like Henry Armstrong can literally hold half of the championship belts at one time, you realize that happened, right? Henry Armstrong held the featherweight title, the lightweight title, and the welterweight title all at the same time and fought for the middleweight title and beat the dude's ass. Because the dude that he beat for the middleweight title was the same guy, same Filipino guy that he beat for the welterweight title. They both fought for the middleweight title against each other. What happened was, dude whooped his ass, but the ref kept taking points away from him. Kept randomly taking points away from Henry Armstrong. And then when the fight was over, the referee fled the building and did not issue his decision until he left the building. When they didn't even know, the people in the auditorium didn't know who won the fight. You think they got a problem with cheating? They don't. They cheat. Just like all the gossip and the bullshit they say about me. That's cheating. You are trying to convince people that I'm crazy just because I won't do what you want me to do. Try to convince people that I'm some pedophile just because I tell the truth about Tyson Fury cheating. So instead of debating me fairly on the points, debating me fairly on the established points, you resort to underhanded bullshit. Like putting a bunch of bullshit in the head of people that are around me. Do you know what that's called? That is called gaslighting. And what they do is, and this is exactly what they do. 78 IQ. Yourself? That's pretty pitiful, son. That's pretty pitiful. If you have a 78 IQ, what is that, about 20 points below average? 20 points below average? You can solve that by reading. Pick up a really big book, and even though you don't understand what's being said, just read it. The more difficult the book, the better. When you get through that book, your IQ will go up about 10, 15 points because you would have exercised your dumbass brain. Similar to the problem you may have with running. If you never run, and you try to jump on a track and run a mile, you're going to be choking. Legs going to be hurting. Piano's going to be on your back and everything. Right? Because you're not running. If you don't use your mind, if you do not use introspection, if you don't read and do something that makes you think, if you don't challenge yourself with difficult thoughts, you will continue to be a mental weakling, and you will continue with that 78 IQ. There is nothing stagnant about your intelligence. You partake in intelligence. You do not possess it. That's what idiots like you don't understand. You partake in air. You don't own air. You partake in it. You breathe it in, you breathe it out. Food, you do not possess food. You eat food, and then you doo-doo it out. Goes back to nature. Same thing that it is with the spiritual. Intelligence is spiritual. It is non-physical in nature. As a result, you don't possess it, you partake in it. So, the more you partake in it, the more you will have. That is a misnomer spread through racism. IQ, as is an intelligence quotient, means that you have a specific amount of it, and that means that's all you can ever have of it. Bullshit. You can grow it. Just like you at age 20 might have been, I don't know, or say 16. At age 16, you might have been 5'8", 130 pounds. Do you stay that way? No. You might get to 6'2", 250 pounds. Do you stay that way? No. As you get older, you may lose 2 inches and lose 30 pounds. You become something different. In no other area can you point to me where stagnation exists. Stagnation does not exist truly in the universe at all, because everything is in constant motion, and everything that you see is not but your own perception. Your mere perception or conception of reality will change the things that you see and the things that you think are true and not true. So please, spare me your IQ conversation, because that in and of itself proves that you are unenlightened and a fucking moron. Play at your own level, son. Tell me I'm lying after you go study for a couple days and figure out what I said, moron. And I like you too. Ain't no problem with being a moron. Just work not to be one. Janimba said racists are afraid of the truth. It's clear Fury cheated. Dude, they're not afraid of the truth. They just don't care about the truth. Their whole job is to manipulate the truth and to prevent the truth from coming out. There is a great statement by John Henry Clark, the world-renowned historian. He said, there is nothing that came out of the European mind that was not intended to establish domination over the world. And he said there's nothing without exception. And you can name it, and he says he can prove that it was developed specifically to dominate other people. Because Europeans at a certain point around the 1200s, maybe 400 or 500 years ago, decided that they were going to dominate the world. And in order to do that, they needed to dominate it geographically, but not only geographically, they needed to dominate it spiritually. And the way you dominate it spiritually and physically is to control what anybody says, thinks, or does in every area of human activity. Psychology was developed for that specifically, because psychology and hypnotism is nothing but sorcery. Nothing but sorcery. And it is flat out immoral. However, we do it through the entertainment industry all of the time. It is purely unadulterated, in the words of esoteric scholars, purely what they call black magic. And what is that? It is taking your will, the will of a stronger person, and imposing that will on someone with a weaker will. That, my friends, is sorcery. When they explain that in the Jedi, you should know that story is flipped on its head, right? Because what do? The Jedi can only, who are dressed in what, right? The Jedi, what they do is they use hypnotism. And you can only use, and what is that? I am suggesting to you what you think you should think. Right? That's what it is. You're not opening somebody's intellect and allowing them to discover themselves the different aspects to reality, the different aspects to their own spirit, right? You're not empowering them. What you're doing is you're weakening them by placing your will upon them. And tell me that's not what happens on television, in the media. They repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. 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 And they keep doing it until you feel so beaten down that you won't even acknowledge that Tyson Fury's not in position to get that fight. What is that? It is an attempt to define your reality for you. They are going to tell you who the good fighters are. They're going to put their pound for pound list up and tell you, right? Not ask you, not get your input, right? Not even use your input. Because the people that they say are the best fighters are people whose ratings aren't that damn good. And people aren't watching them. People aren't that interested in them. If people aren't watching you and aren't interested in you, then how can you say that you're that good? You may be good to the people you may be good to your people in the gym with you, but you're not that good to the people that want to actually pay for the fights, right? But they tell you constantly, right? Like, how many times have you heard Jake Logan's name? Dude, who gives a fuck about that shit? He said, Star Wars reference, that's exactly what the Jedi do through facts. Facts. Yeah, that is what they do. And that shit is illegal. It's immoral. It's highly immoral. Highly unethical to do that to somebody. To impose your will on a weaker person? No. Their reality should be defined by them. They should have the room to grow and make their own mind up. And when you put suggestions in people's minds and you don't know how the human mind actually works, you have no idea what damage you're doing by placing those seeds in their minds. It is just purely unethical. Purely unethical. Jay Watts said, salute Martin, or should I say Professor Blackwell, paying my tuition today. Keep hitting him with them facts, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thanks for supporting over the Instagram, because we use that money to promote the fighters over there on Instagram. Dude, it is psychological. I mean, dude, it's innocent, I think, in many ways. It's innocent in a lot of ways. Somebody said I missed their super chat. I want to go back. Dude, the problem with the $1 and the $2 super chats is that they always get lost. If you put a super chat in, the guy that put the super chat in there, do this. Put super chat, like I put in the chat, and then repeat what it is that you said, and then I will read that super chat. I'm sorry. Said that Jedi mind trick is real. I use it all the time. Dude, it's very real. You can make people fall over with it. I know people that can make you fall down off that shit. Literally make you trip. Because what they'll do is, just out of your peripheral vision, like say you're looking here, just off in your peripheral vision, if somebody does this, right, does like a wild motion, but they do it over there, there's a good likelihood you're going to trip. You'll trip over your feet. And why is that? Because your mind, your consciousness is observing here, right? But your mind is processing everything. So just by suggestion, right? This, in your peripheral vision, if you're walking and you do this all of a sudden, you'll trip. You'll drop a glass. It's a basic mind trick that people know how to do to you, right? And I've seen people do it to people. And they'll do shit like this. They're like, fuck with people's heads with like the timing of lights, right? And time this light to this light and then jerk off real quick. And what'll happen is your head will snap back and you're not prepared because you're looking for that light to change. But this other person, and this is an asshole that literally I damn near smacked. And I say, motherfucker, you do that shit again, I'm fucking you up. One of my best friends, I told him, you do that shit again and I'm gonna fuck you up. He's like, man, what are you talking about? I was like, look, man, you see me holding my water, bitch, and you're timing this fucking light. You're jerking off right at green because you're out of the corner of your eye looking at this yellow. You saw it change. You know my water's in my hand. You jerk off and you make me spill my water. You've done that shit 3 times, dog. I'm going to fuck you up if you do it again. And see, that's the problem when people try to get too cute and they try to use, yeah, man, people do that shit, dude, dog. People use cheap mind tricks all the time. If you've gone to psychology, if you've like ever studied psychology, dog, it is basically a way to manipulate you, man. A way to manipulate you. The marketing, the coloring, the tone, the music, all of those things. Fainting in boxing, yeah, it is, because it makes you jerk. Just by doing this, you jerk. You jerk. And you have to repress your desire to do this. Because he did this, and I see boxers do that shit all the time. And then they'll go, even though Tyson Fury doesn't have any intent whatsoever on throwing a punch, but because he does this, the guy jerks back. It's definitely suggestion. He's suggesting that he's about to punch. He doesn't. You react, right? Same thing will happen in many different ways, dog. Gaslighting has got to be the best one, though. Like YouTube, the preference of YouTube is to gaslight people. It is to try to, like, you can't gaslight me. First of all, it's just not possible. You're never going to gaslight me because I don't give a fuck. I'm always willing to disregard somebody. I'm sorry, I'm old enough to know this. Nobody other than my kids are important enough for me to keep if shit gets dramatic. Only my children are the only ones that I will not go boop and drop your ass in a fucking heartbeat. And that's because people like to gaslight you. If they cannot defeat you, right? Like what they did to Deontay Wilder is classic gaslighting. Classic manipulation, classic. They just say over and over and over again on every media platform, right, that nobody knows Deontay Wilder. Every time you do a video, what happens? Through the comment section, you got people that come in your comment section. Deontay Wilder's a bum. Deontay Wilder's a bum. You're a liar. You're this, you're that. If you stay with it long enough, then they will make personal attacks on you and say your name is something that your name is not. They'll try to create some false controversy, right, with other people and give them a ton of stress. Because even though you're mentally strong enough to ignore trolls, mentally strong enough to continue to give the message and deliver the message that you believe God is bringing forth in you, as long as you have that, they can't play with you. They just can't play with you unless they have the ability to physically touch you. And in my instance, they don't have that ability. So what's the other route, right? The other route is harass everybody around you. Everybody that you're going to talk to or you want to talk to will no longer talk to you. Anybody that you want to call up will no longer want to answer your calls. Why? Because they heard that you did this, you did that, and you did the other thing, right? And that is called gaslighting. And I have seen it happen. Women gaslight you. My sisters love them to death. Monster gaslighters. When I have a beef with my sister, when I was young, the first thing that she did was tell everybody in my family and every one of my friends about it and give them her impression of what happened between me and her, right? This used to happen a long time ago when I was a teenager. So what happens? As soon as you start talking to anybody that you know, they already have the counter argument in their mind. They're already looking at you like, oh, he stole something. Or, oh, he lied about this. They already have those supposed facts in their head. So when you deal with them, they will at the very least be neutral about you. The likelihood of them being supportive of you has now decreased, And the best that you can hope for is for them to be neutral with you. That is gaslighting. That is why I hear all this stupid shit about what this guy says or what that guy says. And, you know, I heard they did this to you. I heard they did that to you. So what you heard? What does that have to do with the subject matter of the video? None. That is why black fighters have difficulties in boxing, because black fighters are constantly gaslighted by the mainstream media and by other promoters. They're gaslighted. Before anybody can become familiar with Deontay Wilder, they've already been told by everybody in the media that he sucks. Because every time you mention his name, there's going to be a bunch of people telling you that he sucks. And you, because you're weak-minded, if you're weak-minded, and generally speaking in boxing, people are weak-minded. That's because they do not spend the time to understand and to research and understand what actually took place. And many people just go along with the flow because they just, want to be with their friends or whatever. But that's what happens. That's why that's why people over there in the UK and other people think American black people are stupid. Because other people are always telling them that we are. Right? Don't fall for it, man. And definitely don't bring it to me. Because you're not going to gaslight me, homie. It's never going to happen. Never. Because anybody that stops supporting me is out of my life. Right? They didn't want to support me, or they didn't believe me. Consequently, they were successfully gaslighted. And since you were successfully gaslighted, you're out of my circle. And I would suggest that you do that with anybody. Anybody. If you know what you're saying is the truth, dumbass, you must just admitted that you're a dumbass. You just admitted that you're a dumbass. How am I gaslighting you, dumbass? Define gaslighting. Give me a coherent definition of gaslighting. Dummy. Oh, Kane the bad guy was blocked. Somebody unblocked Kane the bad guy. That was an accident. Mr. Smith Job, 287. Much love in that super chat. Hold on one second. Somebody got to unblock him. You can leave DW blocked. You can leave DW blocked, but can somebody unblock Kane the bad guy? Because I got to make sure that I didn't block him. I definitely did not want him blocked. All right, cool. You unblocked Kane the bad guy. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, people said Round on Boxing says people are always wanting to believe the worst in people. Well, here's the thing. It works because people are not perfect. People aren't perfect. Everybody has a problem. Everybody. Either you're overweight and you got diabetes, or, you've got stress around your job, or you smoke too much weed, or you don't pay your bills on time, or you're not faithful to your wife, or, you don't spend enough time with your kids. How many people in their life do not have an imperfection? Much love, Google. NPH Natural Hair said, if Deontay Wilder cheated the way Fury did, the weaklings would literally have him criminally prosecuted. Beta males need to cheat alphas to exist. Now that ain't no joke. And also, okay, I think I got that one. Mr. Smith hit me twice, man. Much love in that super chat twice, Mr. Smith. Thank you, sir. And thank you both for supporting the channel over there. So anyway, everybody in life has something wrong with them. Everybody's done something wrong. Everybody has done, either done something they knew they weren't supposed to do, They got a physical weakness. They could have a mental weakness, right? They can have some unethical behavior. If you have that information and you give that to somebody else and establish that as the baseline for somebody, then where can that person go from there? They can't. But what is it? It is pure, unadulterated manipulation on the part of the people that don't like you. You're just being manipulated. And if you then feed, and here's the problem with that. If you then go around to everybody that has been gaslighted and you try to defend yourself to them, you're going to make yourself look worse, because you're going to eventually have to address the things that they know about you that you didn't know they knew. And not only that, they don't feel comfortable telling you about what they know. So your very nature of your relationship is shifted because of the manipulation of the gaslighter. And that is a common, and like I said, that's a sociological manipulation. Serial killers do that. What they call sociopaths do that. Psychopaths do that. Because they're obsessed with power and they're obsessed with control. So if you ever find yourself just being completely isolated, like all of a sudden people that were friends with you won't return your calls, or they've got attitudes, or they're neutral on you, just understand that you have somebody that doesn't like you, that does not have the power to manipulate you. So, since they can't manipulate you, they attempt to isolate you through the technique of gaslighting. And that happens in kindergarten. That shit happens in first grade through high school. And weak-minded people will wind up in hospitals because of it. Because you will ruin somebody's entire life gossiping on them. Gossiping on them for your own personal benefit. You're going through that right now. And that's how you deal with it, Brown on Boxing. That's how you deal with it. You go straight to them and you say this. If anything else, you ask them, who have you talked to about this? Who have you talked to? Oh, I talked to John. Oh, you talked to John? What did John tell you? Well, John told me that XYZ. And then what you know you say after that? Thank you for letting me know what John said. That's bullshit, and goodbye. And you don't try to convince them of anything, because what they think isn't important. Really. Unless it's your job. And in that case, you can get gaslighted on your job too, which is why you do what? In your profession, you always make sure that you have somebody with you when you're talking, or you have that conversation documented to the T. Otherwise, as a black man in a professional world, you are always at risk of that. Oh, do you hear how he uses that slang? Did you hear the music that he's listening to in that ghetto music? Oh, did you, I don't know. I don't really know if he's got that shit. You know what I mean? That shit. Trolls gaslight. That's their job, to gaslight you. And why do they say the word gaslight? Because you're sitting there, a pot of water is sitting there minding its own business, and you light a fire underneath it and get it boiling. That's why they call it the phrase, what's going on, LVZ NBA talk? The man is in the building. That's why they call it gaslighting. Because they go around and they start fires underneath everybody that supports you. And y'all going to try to gaslight me for what? About another 2 weeks. You got about another 2 weeks of gaslighting before your dumb asses realize don't nobody give a fuck. Truthfully. People come here to talk boxing, homie. They don't come here, and they come here to hear about metaphysics. and they come here to hear about political science, and they come here to hear about sociology, they come here to hear about history, they come here to hear about rap music, they come here to hear about the shy. They come here to hear about the shy. They don't come to hear you talk, bitch niggas. They don't come to hear you cry, bitch niggas. They don't. Oh yeah, we got haters in the building, dog. Of course. But they've been exposed. Yeah. I'm laughing at the lies now. I just watching people how they change up on me. Exactly. But they're helping you. Remember that. They're helping you. Because anybody that can truly be gaslighted by somebody else wants to be. They want to be. Because they in the back of their mind know, why are you telling me this shit? What is your purpose of giving me this information? And how are you helping your purpose by telling me? Those simple questions right now, right there, will expose somebody gaslighting you. The conversation will clarify with people why they're wrong for allowing themselves to be manipulated and becoming part of the problem voluntarily. And the people that change up, let them stay changed up. Let them stay changed up. Because if you're pure, they're going to wind up looking bad. Anybody that has ever called me a coon or a sellout is going to wind up looking very, very bad. They may look bad this week. They may look bad next week. They may look bad 6 months from now. But trust me, they're going to wind up looking bad because I'm not that. I'm not a sellout. God owns me. I can't sell me. I can't do it. I can represent my own personal interests, though. And if I defend my own personal interests, which include my freedom of thought, my freedom of expression, my freedom to disagree, if you want to suppress that, thank you. I'm out. With you. Not with everybody else, but with you. No doubt. Me and you ain't cool. But me and you ain't hot either. I'm just going to do me. Because I know who's not going to gaslight me. Me. There was a beautiful, beautiful poem that I shared on, I think I shared it on Instagram. And it was this really pretty girl with tattoos dancing to this guy that was saying something like this. Everything I need, I have. And everything I have, basically, God dang, I hate that I mess it up. But he said basically this: everything that I need, I have. Everything that I want, I'll get. Because my reality is created by me. What I think about any given phenomenon is determined by me. Whether I think something is good or bad is determined by me. I can take your input. I can listen to your input. I can process your rationale. And then I may change my mind. But it will be me changing my mind based on the information that you gave me. It's still me. It's still me. Be a man unto yourself. And Brown on Boxing, you will not be able to be gaslighted. Deontay Wilder was not able to gaslight Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder believed in himself. Deontay Wilder never shifted from who he is or what he represented. Ever. Consequently, he will always be held in high respect and in high regard by people that know him, know his intentions. Deontay Wilder has thoroughly convinced me that he is a champion. Thoroughly convinced me. He is a champion. He champions for his family. He champions for himself. He does not cheat. He does not use steroids. He doesn't use padded gloves. He didn't want somebody throwing the towel in for him. He would rather have died in the ring. I believe him when he says that. And I do believe that you will see that in his actions for the rest of his career, if not the rest of his life. Unlike other people, like Mike Tyson, who changes his personality and his viewpoints like the wind, depending upon who it is he's talking to and what he thinks that person may want to hear. Similar to Sugar Ray Leonard. When Sugar Ray Leonard said, "Oh, I don't know. I think Mikey Garcia is going to win the fight." Why? "Oh, it's just Mikey." Sugar Ray, you're a Hall of Famer. You're an Olympic gold medalist. You think Mikey's going to win that fight just because Mikey is Mikey? When you know damn well Mikey about to get his ass whooped? I don't think you will catch Deontay Wilder doing that. I just don't think you would. Kelvin Faulkner said, "Keep preaching the truth, Fannon. We got your back, Fi." Exactly, dude. I got the noops. If I got the noops, I'm cool. Trust me. Y'all just don't know what the noops got. Google NPH natural hair. Much love in that super chat. He said, and thank you for everybody for supporting the channel in the super chat and supporting what we're doing on the Instagram. Luis Ortiz would stretch Dillian. Whyte can get beat up after Wilder finishes the feud. Exactly. And Whyte don't even want the fight. He wants Trevor Bryan. Good decision, Dillian. Can't say you're stupid. Good decision, dog. Great decision. Because Deontay Wilder will knock his ass the fuck out, dog. You mean Wilder will shake up the world? I'm sorry, I jumped one. You mean Wilder will shake up the world? Wilder's going to KO Fury like Ngannou did to Miocic. I didn't get to see that fight. I'll see if I can see the highlights of that. It was the COVID, dog. Nothing was in his water. It was the COVID that had his legs weak and wobbly. It was COVID that had his legs and his knees looking shaky. I don't like coincidences, dog. I don't like coincidences at all. I don't believe in coincidences. Don't believe in it. Yeah, that was a bad KO. Definitely. He got his head rocked, dog. No doubt about it. It was bad. It was a bad KO. Yeah, it was a bad KO. Oh, for Ngannou? Okay, cool. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it, dog. That's a big-ass boy, dog. Big old dude. I saw him taking stomach punches with a pad from Ryan Garcia. I was like, I think he might be able to take that shit without the pads. Quite honestly. I think he may be able to take them hooks to the body without a pad. Brown Arm Boxing said that big African in the UFC is a devastating puncher. Absolutely. He's big. He's strong. From what I've seen of him, because I did see him fight the one where he lost. I didn't get to see this one, though. You know? Said it looked like Wilder knocking out cheating ass Fury. Yeah. I would love if they could get cheating the fuck up out of sports. But, you know, there's gambling, so there's going to be cheating. There's gambling, so there's going to be cheating. Xavier Martinez said that Adidas sweatsuit fire, bro. Flashback to the 80s. Yeah, man. This is something that I wanted to have in the 80s, but I didn't. Wanted to have it in the 80s, but my daddy, you know, he ain't into spending big money on shit. So, you know, I was kind of raggedy and shit. Still getting broads, but, you know, wasn't quite as sharp as I wanted to be. Weed bands in the building. What's good, man? And Lulama said 3 African UFC champs now, and there's going to be more. There's going to be more. And then they're going to change the rules. Said black men run it all, bruh. That build killing them. So, I want you booking those niggas to show your face. Like I was challenged to. Show your face. Show your face. I don't believe nobody that don't show their face. If you don't show your face, you hiding something, dog. You hiding being in your basement, or not being able to afford a decent camera, or you just butt fucking ugly. Or you're like Town Business that probably is none of the above, but just as like I'm doing my shit on my phone. That's how I've always done it. Shout out to that man. That's a great channel, dog. I need to listen to some more of his videos. I don't know why I haven't been getting Town Business's notifications lately. I gotta go check that out. But look, man, I'm gonna wrap this show up. I know some other people are gonna want to have, you know, good shows that come on today. Thank you guys so much for all the support and everything you've done for the channel. Make sure that you keep an eye out for the videos that are coming up today. And hey, before you leave, we got 400 people in the building. We do not have 400 likes, man. Can we get the likes over 400 real quick before we end this? Because y'all holding out on me. Oh, I did get 23 of you bitch niggas disliking, though. Can I get 30 dislikes and 400 likes? Oh, we almost there. We got 337 on the likes now. Let me hit the refresh and see if it pops over. Because I don't think it upgrades like that. Oh yeah, I'm at 408. So we'll take the 400. We'll try to go for 500 tomorrow. Would love to get 500 likes every live stream. You need a website, Fannon. I have a website. I just haven't invested the time in writing the articles and all that stuff, you know. 817 B-Box said, I'm handsome. Ask my girl. Exactly. Yeah. And see, I like that 817 because that's a response you should give to me. Fuck you. I don't want to show my face. That means I got to clean up my room. I don't want to do that. Fuck you. That's the proper response to that if you don't feel like doing it, you know? But anyway, much love in the chat. Much love in the super chat. And we'll get back with you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Make sure you're there sharp. And with that, I'm out. Peace.